It's time for This Week in Clarksville. And now, here's your host, Stefanie Miller.
Welcome to Main Street Clarksville's first show, This Week in Clarksville. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. I look forward for the coming weeks to introduce you to the people, places, activities, organizations, and businesses right here in Clarksville and out in Montgomery County. On our first show today, we will sit down with the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system to hear how you can help your student get off on the right foot this school year. We will then head over to the Customs House Museum and Cultural Center to get a history lesson in the city that we call home. We will also get some information on how you can best build your brand, whether you're a new business or an existing one. And we will end out celebrating 100 years with Clarksville's Civitan Club, and we'll hear what they're working on right now. Other stories that we are following that you can find in our paper, Main Street Clarksville, or on our website, include the opening of this new school, Kirkwood Middle School. We will also get the latest on a traffic accident involving a school bus and some reminders for you, as you will see more school buses on the road as the school year is now underway. We'll also have a story featuring the Doubletree Inn, which will soon go into where you have the Riverside Inn in downtown Clarksville. Those stories and much more in our paper and on our website. Coming up right after this commercial break, we will hear from the Communications and Marketing Director with the school system to learn how you can best help your student start the school year off right and get going on a positive start. Stay with us.
Hey, I'm John, one of the family owners here at the City Forum. Some people think I'm great at the games and attractions here, but I'm not. I'm fantastic. Your mom might want to pick that up. Go low with 18 holes in mini golf. Channel your inner Ricky Bobby on the go-kart track. Play in Clarksville's only 7D motion theater. 10 lanes of family fun bowling. Don't forget about our big birthday party rooms. So come on out to the City Forum and try to beat some of my high scores.
Give it up. Where'd you get it?
Rooms for less.
Get out! You gotta be kidding me!
Have you ever noticed that the guys' voices get really high when they get excited? I haven't really noticed that before.
Oh yeah, you should see their selections of sofas and recliners. I mean, oh my gosh, I about lost my mind. I should take you there sometime. I mean, there's more stuff that I want to get. I can't believe you got all this from Rooms for Less.
It is an exciting time of year for parents and for students as kids are heading back to the classroom to get the school year started. I am here with Jessica Goldberg. She is the Director of Communications at Clarksville Montgomery County Schools. We are so happy that you joined us today because we have a great topic to start off the school year with. That is how kids can get off on the right foot from week one.
Yes, absolutely. We are so excited for the start of the school year.
I can only imagine. So what do they need to do right off the bat?
I think the number one thing families can do as they start to prepare for school is something really simple, and that's just start talking to your children. How do they feel about the start of the school year? What are they looking forward to most? What's making them nervous? Because starting those communication skills early for children to learn how to talk about how they're feeling is going to help you set the stage for a really successful school year going throughout the year.
100%. What if you have a student, a child, who's not very open or not really open to talk with the parent?
Absolutely. And so sometimes that is a little bit of a struggle, and that could be any age when it's middle school and everything is just fine. Yeah, I guess. But it's just continuing that conversation and having that consistency, and then you'll see it pay off in the end because you'll finally hear them start to open up about the class that they like or a friend that they've made. And it really does, like, just being consistent in that practice, communicating with them, it really does start to help them open up more.
And Jessica knows this firsthand because you have little ones yourself.
Yes, I do. I have an elementary school student and a middle school student this year.
So when it comes to your students and what you've seen, how important are routines from day one?
Absolutely. Students and children thrive on consistency, and so having that routine in place from a bedtime routine to knowing what they are expected to do in the morning just sets the stage for a positive school day. It helps them when they get home. They understand, this is what I have to do when I get off the bus or when I walk in the door. And so having that routine in place is really helpful for any child to know what to expect and what's expected of them.
Fantastic. And what you're seeing here now, you see these day one, first day of school on Monday, this past Monday, for students here in the Clarksville, Montgomery County school system. Eager to start the day. That excitement is in the air as you get to see your friends once again, get to talk to your teachers for the first time. For the parents who maybe need a little help, they want to ask questions, they want to get information, they need maybe, again, going back to the help for their student, who do they turn to? Is there an open door policy in the school system?
Yes, we always encourage our parents to make a relationship with their teacher. Reach out to your teacher, make sure you have your teacher's contact information. A lot of our teachers use different methods of communication, whether it be Class Dojo or Remind or their school email. And so just knowing how your teacher communicates is going to help you when you have a question and you need to reach out. But then also, don't be afraid to reach out to the school administration or the school counselor if you have a question about something. And then the district has an email set aside, questions@cmcss.net. If you don't feel like you've gotten an answer, you're still looking for a different type of question that may not necessarily have to do directly with your student's education, but it may be something involving the district, reach out to questions@cmcss.net and they'll help you.
Is there anything else that I haven't really asked that you feel like people should know and that they need to hear?
Absolutely. So the school and the district both use School Messenger to communicate with parents throughout the year. And so if you haven't yet gotten onto PowerSchool and created an account for yourself, definitely do that. And then you'll be able to receive communications, everything from school newsletters to whether or not, everyone wants to know about snow days. So you'll be able to receive all the information that you need by signing up for that account.
That sounds great. Jessica, again, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate the information, the tidbits from you, and look forward to maybe catching up with you here in a month or two once school really is underway.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Stick with us. We have a little bit more coming up.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
I'm Journey Louie, lead agent with the Journey Louie team at Clarksville.com Realty.
Not every client needs the same approach. No matter what you need, my specially curated team and I devise a creative strategy to get you exactly what you want. I don't have to tell you that this market is unpredictable, but the key is to have a local, experienced real estate agent to help you make an informed financial decision.
We very much appreciate Jessica Goldberg's time and wish all of our students a successful upcoming school year. Well, from the classroom to another location where people of all ages can enrich their learning and gain more knowledge about where they're from and the place that they call home. This next story takes us to our favorite museum here in Clarksville. 35,000 square feet, 3 stories, and full of history, art, and so much culture. I am talking about the Customs House Museum and Cultural Center here in Clarksville, and I am lucky to be in here with Frank Lott, who is the executive director of this museum, and you've been with the museum for more than 3 decades now.
Well, I was involved from the early years, not as a staff member, but just as an interested citizen, a volunteer, a board member, a chairman of the board, a fundraiser, and then here I am now, 38 years later, executive director. Never dreamed it would happen, but delighted to be here.
And we're delighted to have you, for you to share the information that you're going to, because this museum is rich both in the history outside of the building and what it holds on the inside. But let's start about where this museum started many years ago in the 1800s.
1898 was the construction date, built in that year, opened as a federal post office and customs house. Customs house related to the collection of taxes and tariffs and import duties for the tobacco trade, so it stuck.
And you said that's a question you get often.
Get often.
What is a customs house?
Well, it is they're normally located on seaports, and they deal with the collection of import duties, exports, tariffs, etc. So the federal government put one here because we had a direct connection to the Gulf of Mexico, and we were the world's largest dark-fired tobacco market.
I bet you didn't know that, or I bet a lot of you did not know that. Now, fast forward many years, and then it turned into something else after being the post office.
It became, for 40 years, the Department of Electricity, Clarksville Department of Electricity. From 1938 to 1939 to 1983, and then the Customs House, Clarksville Montgomery County Museum, from that time to the present.
And a lot's happened here since 1984, and what you guys have put inside of this building. And the room that we're in now holds a special feature. That's a permanent feature here at the museum.
Permanent exhibit that we title Becoming Clarksville, Honoring Legacies of Leadership. What were the factors that made Clarksville the city that it is today from its very beginning, early years on the Red and Cumberland Rivers? And what were the factors that allowed it to emerge as a gem of Tennessee?
And you have it set up in a particular order. Can you explain that to us?
Well, it's set up topically rather than chronologically. It's by topics. What were the factors that influenced Clarksville's growth? The military, agriculture, transportation, education, healthcare. It's topical rather than chronological. So it makes it very much more interesting, I think.
It does, and it's easy to follow for families and kids of any age that come through here. There's also a video area where you can sit back and watch
videos about, again, the topics that we talk about in here. Yeah, they're short videos, very, very engaging. And then we have, of course, our newly remodeled children's floor called Exploring Our Town, which is like a kid's version of this, but also very engaging for grown-ups as well.
That's fantastic, and that's something I would love for Frank, if he'd be so kind to maybe take us on a tour the next time that we're able to sit down with you.
Glad to do that.
And I have to ask you one final question, because you've been here for 38 years. You have to have a favorite spot or a favorite topic. What would it be?
In this particular exhibit?
In this particular one, yes.
Well, they're all so interesting to me, but I come from a military family, so the military portion brings back a lot of memories of my childhood growing up here in a military family. Also, I'm a big believer in the arts and culture, so those two are probably my two favorites.
Fantastic. Well, if you have a chance to come out and visit the museum, make a point to, if you have friends and family coming down, have them come with you here to the Customs House and Cultural Center, because it's a fabulous spot to visit. Frank, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Stephanie. Glad to be on your inaugural program.
Happy to have you on this one, and look forward to meeting you and talking with you.
Indeed.
Stay with us.
So, I just heard you talking to Jane about your gorgeous living room.
She was just asking me if it came from
Rooms for less, is that true? I mean, I always thought with the whole less thing.
Not at all. I mean, the whole less thing's actually more. You get more quality, more name brands, more selection.
Oh, but what about the table? I mean, there's no way.
Rooms for less.
Is this rooms for less? What time do you guys close? Yes!
I'm Journey Louie, lead agent with the Journey Louie team at Clarksville.com Realty.
Not every client needs the same approach. No matter what you need, my specially curated team and I devise a creative strategy to get you exactly what you want. I don't have to tell you that this market is unpredictable, but the key is to have a local, experienced real estate agent to help you make an informed financial decision.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. I'm here with our sports reporter, Brady McAtamney. We are so excited about this upcoming football season and the other sports happening. Brady, what can we expect?
Yeah, so we're here at Forterra Stadium, home of the Governors. They're playing in the first ever season of the ASUN Conference. Very exciting, of course. They're going to be looking to capture that first ever ASUN championship. They placed 5th in the preseason poll, but Scotty Walden and his team have high hopes for this season. They graduated a lot of players from last year's team. A couple guys transferred out, but a lot of guys transferring in. I know they're very excited about this season. Fans can look forward to learning a lot of new names here on the Governors team. Looking at the high school team, Clarksville High is looking at potentially a really good season as they bring back quarterback Davin Geringer and running back Jamari Cobbs from injury. I know they have very high expectations for themselves in a very competitive 6A region. Clarksville Academy is as well also bringing back an injured quarterback in Cooper Wallace. He and DJ Merriweather are kind of going to split snaps at that position, but they've got some really good athletes, including wide receiver Jock Wyatt, who might be a Governor in the future. That's a team that that's a guy that they really like in recruiting. As far as other teams that we can look forward to seeing, West Creek, Montgomery Central, and Northeast and Kenwood all have first-year head coaches this year. So they're all going to be kind of learning, picking up things as they go. Some of those teams replacing some really key players from last year, especially Kenwood replacing quarterback Jalen Washington from last season. But those teams are all looking forward to competing this year. Northwest struggled last season, looking to potentially get better this year with second-year head coach Ronaldo Pena. And of course, Rossview, who had a very good season 2 years ago, made it to the postseason, struggled last year. I know they're really looking forward to picking up the pieces, forgetting all about that, and doing better this year.
Awesome, Brady. Thank you so much for that. We look forward to seeing and getting with you each week to get our Sports Minute and all the highlights from your favorite teams, your favorite players, and again, it's going to be an exciting season.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Coming up right now, we're going to learn more about building your brand as a business. Whether you're a new or old business, we have a marketing expert who's going to share with us how you can best build your brand.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
You only have one chance to make that first impression, and for any new business, the first impression is probably one of the most important. To share a little bit more about branding here on This Week in Clarksville, we have Wes Foster. He is the owner of WestFed in Clarksville. It is a digital marketing company. You're the guy with a lot of answers for a lot of businesses, whether they are new businesses or existing ones. And we're talking about branding today, and how important is that?
Branding is very important. I mean, that is essentially your company's reputation, and it's just as important as your personal reputation.
What would be your main suggestions? Like if you had top suggestions for a business owner coming to you saying, okay, how do I build my brand? What's your answer?
Number one, make sure you have a good, solid product or service to build a brand around. Because if you don't have a good product or service, it's going to make that 10 times harder. So just really be confident in what you're selling and in the value that you're providing to your customers. That would be number one. Okay. Number two is just consistency. Be very consistent with your brand, your messaging, your colors, your logo, how you portray the company, because that's just going to make it a lot easier to sell your brand to more people.
You know that saying, devil's in the details, is that where this would come into play? Like everything, all the details you need to have in order.
Yeah, but you don't want to overthink it. I mean, you have a brand already. You have a reputation already. So if you're out there, you're providing good value and you have good intentions, then I wouldn't worry too much about like the little details. Like you have a brand already. Okay. You just need to put some thought into making it as consistent as possible.
What's number three? So you went from number one, number two, what's number three?
Number three, once you're solid on your service or your offering and you know you're providing value and you're consistent in that provision of value, you got to put it out there. So networking, building relationships, getting on social media, running ads, whatever it is, you need to get your brand out there and expose it to as many people as possible.
Speaking of social media, that's something that is huge for businesses this day and age.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're not there, especially now, it's almost like a sign to people when they're looking up your company that maybe you're not legitimate or maybe you're too new, and a lot of times they'll just go with the competitor that is a little more established or appears to be more established.
And this will be a topic we're going to pick up on another time when Wes joins us. We're going to be talking about the power of TikTok and getting your business and information out on TikTok. Wes, if somebody would like a little more information from you, where do they go?
So you can check me out online, westfed.com. You can go to the company, or you can look me up on any of the social platforms, or westfoster.com.
Fantastic, Wes. We always appreciate you. We're going to appreciate the time that you give us, and thank you for all the information. It's valuable.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. This is This Week in Clarksville. Stay with us because we have a lot more coming up right after this.
At Miss Lou Steele's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lou Steele's. You'll be glad you did.
What was our favorite part of the chapter?
Well, first, has anyone seen Chris?
You know, she was just in the bathroom. Guys, it's rooms for less.
So what about the chair?
Yeah, rooms for less. I mean, I love it too. Love it. I just got it. It's amazing. All right, book club at Rooms for Less next week.
I'm Journey Louie, lead agent with the Journey Louie team at Clarksville.com Realty.
Not every client needs the same approach. No matter what you need, my specially curated team and I devise a creative strategy to get you exactly what you want. I don't have to tell you that this market is unpredictable, but the key is to have a local, experienced real estate agent to help you make an informed financial decision.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville, and how lucky I am to learn a little bit more about the Clarksville Civitan Club. This club just celebrated a big milestone. That's 100 years of being in Clarksville.
Yeah.
I have the Civitan Club president with us, Derek Earls. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Of course, coming off of celebrating 100 years, what was that like to celebrate with the club and the community?
Well, 100 years. Of course, I wasn't here then.
No.
Neither of us, but my goodness, 1917 was when the International Club was established, and then our Clarksville Club was established July 6th of 1922. A lot of things have happened from then. We've gone through a depression, we've gone through wars, we've gone through sicknesses, and we've gone through a lot of things in our country. What this means for us in celebrating 100 years is that we stick around and we do things to help our community. And I'm so proud to be part of what we're doing here in Clarksville, Tennessee. This is a place where a lot of people are coming, and I'm glad that the Civitan Club is one of the reasons that people are deciding to get involved in what we're doing here in the city.
How many members do you have right now?
Right now, we're right at about 86, and we've got a campaign this year, 100 by the 100th. It was first coined by one of our past presidents, Dr. Mary Bullock Neal had coined the phrase, let's get to 100 by the 100th. And then it just took off from there. We had a goal of getting to 100 members we wanted to do it by our celebration. We didn't quite get there. But you know what? We grew our club by over 36 members over the last year, and that's really huge for a club to build upon that.
What sort of service projects do you guys conduct in a year?
Good question. Well, one of the projects that we have coming up is a scavenger hunt. And that scavenger hunt is to benefit students who are going to Austin Peay. We actually give out scholarships to incoming freshmen, and it continues throughout their service or their time in Austin Peay. We do a scavenger hunt, and we have sponsorships where businesses in the local community can sponsor a sign, and they go up, and we put these signs up, and they're during the Riverfest events. Where you can come by and you can vote on a sign, and the individual who picks the winning sign has the opportunity to win $10,000. Additionally, yes, 10,000.
That's
yeah,
phenomenal.
Like you looking at me
My
like,
eyes
yeah,
are-
like what?
Did I hear you right?
Yes, and we've done it for many, many years. It first started many years ago. Jimmy Dunn, which is a member of our club, had started it as a project, and it took off from there. And it's to benefit our students at Austin Peay. Now, annually, we raise thousands of dollars to benefit our students who qualify for the scholarship. Of course, there's an application and an essay and a committee that votes on who wins the scholarship. So that's one of the things we do. Additionally, we have those sweet Vidalia onions. The onions that you hear about every year when they come around, yeah, that comes from us, the Civitan Club. We go, we go to Georgia, we get those sweet Vidalia onions, we bring them back, and I know they're good on hamburgers, cheeseburgers, burgers, whatever. So that's one of the projects that we do. And then additional, we do others. We have the Terry Lynn Foundation where we have, you can go online and purchase things to benefit those. We do Buddy Ball where we support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We actually also, I love them. Some people don't. Some people call them the sweetest doorstop. The fruitcakes around Christmas time. We have those, and we bring those in, and we have those. The Claxton fruitcakes are wonderful. I love them. I cut them in slices, have them with my coffee. And so those are some of the projects that we do. And all of the things that we do, the money, the proceeds, and how we do it, it supports people in our community. It supports organizations in our community. We're passionate about helping.
For those who are seeing this, who are thinking, you know what, this is something I want to be a part of. I'd like to go to a meeting. I'd like to join. How do they do that?
You asked me that before. I didn't answer it. My bad. Sorry.
That's okay. No, just because again, I really want to make sure that people know exactly where to go. You invited them here.
Yeah, you can come here, and then also you can reach out to us on Facebook.
Okay.
You know, on our Facebook Civitan, Clarksville Civitan, on our Facebook page. And if you want to join us, reach out to me. My phone number is you thought I was going to give you my phone number. No, you're not getting my phone. Well, you got my phone number. You're not getting my phone number. But if you want to reach out to us, in all seriousness, our office is on 2nd Street, and you can reach out to the Civitan. You can Google our office, and you can call our office number and reach out. Our secretary there, Donna Sabash, has been, who's actually one of our past presidents as well, is more than willing to give you information on the club. So reach out to us there. At our office and on our Facebook page. So did I answer that?
You did answer that, and that is going to be coming up on your screen right now.
Yeah.
So you'll see their office phone number. You'll also see the address for the First Baptist Church here in downtown Clarksville. If you can make it to a meeting on Wednesday at noon, correct?
At noon. Lunch starts at 11:30, so you want to get here at about 11:30 so you have an opportunity to eat your meal, get in here, talk to us, laugh, and I mean, we believe in fellowship, good fun. And we have some phenomenal programs that come on a weekly basis. Members of our community at large who come in and tell us about their programs and what they're doing.
And I asked, just because so many people can't make it at noon, but just because you can't make it to a meeting, are they still able to be a part of it?
Yes, because we've got virtual offerings.
That is true.
There was something that happened in 2020 that necessitated that we all pivot.
COVID, that was on making things more virtual.
Yeah, so we're also virtual. Okay. So we do have that information as well that we can put out there. And I think we posted on our Facebook page as far as the virtual offerings of how you can be there. Okay. We have several members who are, at large, who are not even in our community, who are a part of our club. And they join us virtually. So that's, we have those offerings.
Fantastic. That is great to know. Cannot thank you again for joining us, to sharing all of this information about Clarksville Civitan Club. Derek Girls, you're phenomenal. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We'll have more coming up.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. it's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
That is our first show of This Week in Clarksville. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. I cannot thank our interviewees enough for giving me their time, sharing their knowledge, and I look forward to more weeks of introducing you to the people, the places, the activities that continue to build and make this city a vibrant place that we get to call home. Have an awesome weekend.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of This Week in Clarksville. We'll see you next time.